grew up on a 70-acre apple farm. I'd wake up and have breakfast, and then I'd run out in the orchards with the picking crews and the pruning crews. And that's when I really started developing an appreciation for the hard work that we do out here. For as much romance as there is surrounding wine, it's hard work farming, especially up here in these mountains. We initially planted this vineyard in the 80s, and it was a thriving vineyard into 2013, and then Pierce's disease really started taking over through the drought. Pierce's disease is a bacteria. Its scientific name is Xylella fastidiosa. It's a bacteria that resides in host plants, typically in riparian areas. Bay laurels are a big host around here. And the blue-green sharpshooters will feed off of those host plants, and they start feeding off the vineyards, and they transmit that bacteria. And it finds its way into the vascular system of the vine, specifically the xylem tissue, and kills off the plant, just pretty much suffocates it. Here we have a good example of a vine that's pretty much ready to succumb. This side is completely dead, and then here we have severe stunting. It's kind of what you see when a vine's pretty much ready to give up the ghost.
I started getting involved in Pierce's disease about 9 years ago. The primary way in which it's controlled is to control the vector, which basically vectors the bacterium. My work was initiated in trying to isolate bacteriophage that were specific for Xylella. Phage are viruses of bacteria which attach and infect a bacterium, inject their nucleic acid, and basically replicate and kill the bacteria. We reported our results that initiated the partnership between Texas AgriLife Research and Otsuka Pharmaceutical in the development of this product.
We started doing trials here in 2017, as well as Linton Springs. This is obviously still infected, but it's still actively growing and still pretty vigorous. Fruit still looks good and it's developing. This vine still has Xylella, but it is growing through it, and the phage is doing its thing and keeping this vine alive.
There is concern about spread of the disease by the introduction of the glassy-winged sharpshooter, which is a very efficient vector.
It's much larger, has a much longer range, and so it can decimate very quickly. They have combated it pretty well, kept it isolated in Southern California, but it's only a matter of time before it makes its way pretty much everywhere where it's conducive to its habitat.
You can't rely on a single plant disease control strategy. You need to combine everything you can find to slow down these epidemics and hopefully prevent them.
If you can treat with phage, and you know that's a set cost every year, but it keeps the vine alive and productive, then for me it's better to treat the vines with phage until you're ready to do a major replant so that you have control of when you want to remove the vineyard and replant.
Classically, the only way to combat Pierce's disease has been to use insecticides. This way of combating the disease is a step ahead for us as a species and the environment in general.